Hello, NFL fans. Welcome to another episode of NFL Picks with Dave. I'm your host, Dave, and today we'll see what my picks will be for Week 6 and what the final scores will be. I'm starting with Thursday Night Football with the New England Patriots taking on the New York Giants, live from Gillette Stadium. The Patriots did what I predicted last week. They blew out the Redskins. The final score of the game was 33-7. The Giants, on the other hand, did not what I predicted they would do last week. They lost to the Vikings 24-10. This pick is pretty easy. I picked the Patriots because it's a home game for them. They're undefeated, and they have a better defense and offense than the Giants. Before we move on, here's a fun fact about these two teams. Both of them faced off in 2 Super Bowls in recent years. Both were won by the Giants, but their most famous one out of the two was the Giants upset of 2007 in Super Bowl 42, where the Giants defeated the undefeated New England Patriots 17-14. Now let's move on to the rest of Week 6. My first Sunday prediction is the Seahawks over the Browns. The Seahawks won a remarkable game last week, edging the Rams to a 30-29 win, while the Browns got killed by the 49ers last week, 31-3. However, I don't think that this game is going to be a blowout because the Seahawks defense is not very strong and Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback. But I think that Russell Wilson and company will lead the Seahawks to a 24-17 win over the Browns. My next pick is the Dolphins over the Redskins. Why? Because the Redskins recently fired their head coach, Jay Gruden, and it's in Miami. Both teams will have some turnovers, but the Dolphins will have a 13-10 win over Washington. My next pick is the Panthers over the Buccaneers in the NFL International Series live from London. The Bucs lost last week to the Saints 31-24, while the Panthers beat the Jaguars 34-27. I think that the two teams will score some points, but the Panthers have a good quarterback, and the Panther offense will lead their team to a 20-13 win over Tampa Bay. This next pick is very easy. It's the Ravens over the winless Bengals. The Ravens won a close one over the Steelers last week with a score of 26-23 over their division rival, while the Bengals lost to the Cardinals with a score of 26-23. The Ravens will get some nice turnovers and the defense will have fun sacking Andy Dalton as their team will win 38-10 over the poorly structured Bengals. My next Sunday pick is the Eagles over the Vikings. The Eagles whooped the Jets 31-6 last week, while the Vikings beat the Giants with a score of 28-10. This pick is very difficult because both teams are very good, but I picked the Eagles because they have a slightly better offense than the Vikings. My final score, Eagles 30, Vikings 28. My next picks are the Saints over the Jaguars 31-24, the Chiefs over the Texans 24-14, and the Falcons over the Cardinals 20-6. Now let's move on to the 1:25 p.m. games. My next pick is the Rams over the 49ers. The Rams lost to the Seahawks 30-29 last week, while the 49ers demolished the awful Browns 31-3. I picked the Rams because they'll be fresh from their mini bye week, and they'll be angry and are desperate to defend their house from the 49ers. The two teams will fight hard, but the Rams' defense will overpower the 49ers' offensive line, and their turnovers will lead them to a 20-13 win over the 49ers. My next late game pick is the Broncos over the Titans. The two teams will fight really hard, but I think that Denver will sneak this one out 21-20 because they got their first win last week and they'll have more momentum than the Titans. This game is also about who makes the least mistakes. The team that loses will make more mistakes than the other team. My next pick is very easy. it's the Cowboys over the Jets in a runaway game. The Cowboys will rebound from their 34-24 loss to the Packers and will kill the Jets 45-17. Let's move on to the final two primetime games. This pick is very difficult. It's the Steelers at the LA Chargers. Both teams lost last week in heartbreakers. The Steelers lost to the Ravens 26-23 after the Ravens scored a game-ending field goal. The Chargers lost to the Broncos 20-13 last week in LA. Last year, on another Sunday Night Football game, the Chargers defeated the Steelers 33-30 in a game-winning field goal. The Steelers don't have Big Ben, and the Chargers have been struggling lately. I think that this game will be a shootout, and the Chargers, like last year, will have a game-winning field goal. My final score, Chargers 27, Steelers 24. And now, my last pick of the week. This pick is also very difficult. It's the Lions taking on the Packers. The Packers won last week against the Cowboys with a score of 34-24, while the Lions were on their bye week, sleeping in the jungle. I think that the Lions can pull this one off because they swept the Packers last year and they're coming off their bye week. The two teams will fight, but the Lions will have a last-minute score, beating the Packers with a score of 16-13. That does it for my picks for Week 6. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to get the latest videos and posts I do. And also follow me on Twitter. My account name is @DavidNader2. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you again next week.